For decades, everyone believed ocean water was poison to plants, a relic of ancient warfare rather than a farming tool. Yet, in the 1970s, a physician found that just 1 cup of diluted seawater could triple harvests and make crops nearly immune to disease. His field trials rewrote what was possible, and then his research disappeared. If ocean minerals can unlock supercharged harvests for free, who decided it was safer to forget? The doctor who looked inside sea creatures. The investigation begins with Dr. Maynard Murray and what he discovered during medical autopsies, findings that no land animal could match. Murray was a physician and physiologist in the 1930s and 1940s, trained in medical practice and anatomy, not agriculture. While studying disease at its source, his curiosity led him beyond the clinic and into the oceans. Over years of dissections on marine animals, whales, seals, and fish, he searched for the chronic diseases common on land. He expected tumors, hardened arteries, inflamed joints. Instead, he found almost none. Across specimens from the Arctic to the tropics, young and old, predator and prey, the pattern held. Organs were supple. Arteries were clear. Tissues showed little to no cancer, arthritis, or atherosclerosis. On land, the contrast was unmistakable: calcified arteries, fatty deposits, degenerating cartilage, and widespread disease in animals and humans alike. At sea, those markers were largely absent. The question haunted him: how could marine animals thrive so consistently while land-based life, including humans, suffered so deeply? The ocean's secret formula. Murray's training in physiology pushed him to look for a common denominator. He considered diet, environment, and genetics. But the answer kept pointing back to minerals. Over millions of years, rain and rivers washed nutrients from mountains and fields, carrying them to the sea. Oceans became a vast reservoir of every element life requires. Land, by contrast, was left depleted. Murray's observations formed the backbone of his theory. Chronic disease flourished where minerals were missing. He believed the secret to health for animals and humans was locked in the mineral-rich waters of the ocean. These findings did not come from speculation, but from years of direct clinical investigation. The next step was clear. If the ocean's mineral balance protected sea life from disease, could it do the same for crops and livestock on land? The field trials that changed everything. In the 1950s, on a quiet plot of farmland, Dr. Maynard Murray tested an idea that challenged conventional agriculture. He collected seawater, evaporated it, and used the remaining mineral crystals he called sea solids as a soil amendment. Instead of chemical fertilizers, Murray applied these ocean minerals to crops and watched closely. The results were striking. Corn stalks grew up to 10 feet tall. Oats showed protein levels several times higher than local averages. Tomatoes and grasses displayed unusual vigor that drew the attention of farmers and county agents. Murray documented these results in his 1976 book Sea Energy Agriculture, noting that the data came from his own field trials rather than institutional studies. His method was simple: dissolve a measured amount of sea solids in irrigation water and apply it to the soil. Unlike raw seawater, which damages plants, the diluted minerals appeared to accelerate growth. Alfalfa yields increased, and animals fed on treated forage showed stronger growth and fewer health problems. Murray also reported fewer tumors in small animals fed grain grown with sea solids, while acknowledging these were observational findings, not peer-reviewed research. Some farmers who saw his plots began experimenting on their own, but the method never scaled. By the time his work was published, agriculture was already deeply invested in synthetic fertilizers. Even so, those early trials remain notable: plants that grew taller, matured faster, and carried more nutrition, all from trace minerals drawn from the sea. What your crops are really starving for. Modern agriculture revolves around 3 letters: N, P, and K: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They dominate nearly every bag of fertilizer sold today, but they're only part of the picture. Plants, like people, require far more than the basics. When soil is examined for true mineral balance, the periodic table tells a different story. Seawater contains nearly every naturally occurring element in trace amounts, not just sodium and chloride but also magnesium, calcium, boron, zinc, copper, iodine, selenium, and more. These elements each play subtle but essential roles in plant health, supporting enzymes, photosynthesis, nitrogen fixation, stress resistance, and disease defense. These minerals don't simply increase growth. They allow plants to build complex proteins, vitamins, and natural protective compounds that NPK alone cannot provide. Decades of harvesting and rainfall have stripped many soils of these trace elements. The result is land that can still grow crops, but crops that lack full nutritional depth. For Dr. Murray, the ocean offered the missing explanation. Its mineral diversity reflected the conditions life evolved under and provided a blueprint for restoring vitality to soil, plants, and the food they produce. We are walking oceans. Human blood plasma and ocean water share a secret most people never hear. Their mineral profiles are nearly identical. The same elements that flow through our veins, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chloride, exist in seawater, dissolved in the same delicate proportions. Chemists have compared the two for decades, running charts side by side that map every major mineral. And the similarities are remarkable. The ratios are not just close. They match so closely that some early physiologists called plasma diluted ocean. This is not a coincidence. Life on Earth began in the sea. Every animal, every plant, every cell on land carries the memory of that chemistry. The ocean is a living archive, holding the full periodic table in the balance that first sparked life. When a plant draws up minerals from seawater, it taps into the same formula that shaped its ancestors millions of years ago. When we drink water or eat food grown in mineral-rich soil, we are restoring what has been lost since the continents rose from the sea. The phrase, "we are walking oceans," is not just poetic. It is a biochemical fact. Our bodies echo the sea in every heartbeat, every nerve signal, every cell division. Yet in the fields and gardens of today, the mineral spectrum is broken. 3 elements are fed to crops while the other 89 are left behind. The ocean blueprint remains complete, waiting to be returned to the land. The science is clear. To restore the health of plants, animals, and people, we must restore the full mineral symphony that once connected us to the sea. The NPK lie, why 3 numbers can't replace 90 elements. Walk into any garden center and you'll see the same promise on every bag: NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These 3 nutrients dominate modern agriculture and shape nearly every soil test and fertilizer program. The message is simple: feed crops these elements and they will grow. But growth alone is not health. An NPK-only system is like feeding a child sugar and caffeine. You get fast results, lush leaves, thick stalks, swollen fruit, but something essential is missing beneath the surface. Plants, like people, need more than energy. They need a full spectrum of minerals to build strong tissues, complex proteins, vitamins, and natural defenses. Without those trace elements, crops may grow larger but remain fragile and disease-prone. Decades of harvesting have stripped soils of zinc, copper, selenium, iodine, boron, and other traces that activate enzymes and drive resilience. When these are missing, no amount of nitrogen can compensate. The real flaw in NPK is not what it includes, but what it leaves out. Restoring mineral diversity isn't an upgrade, it's a return to the foundation that once made plants, soil, and food truly healthy. How to use ocean water safely: the 1-cup method. 1 cup of ocean water. That's all it takes to replace what decades of chemical farming have stripped away, but the secret is dilution, not salt. Undiluted seawater will kill plants quickly, pulling moisture from the roots and collapsing tissues. Precision is everything. The working ratio for home gardens is 1 part seawater to 30 parts fresh water, about 1 cup in 2 gallons. Mix well and apply to the soil, not the leaves, once every 3 months. At this dilution, sodium drops to safe levels while the full spectrum of trace minerals magnesium, calcium, iodine, zinc, and others remains available. You're delivering mineral diversity, not a salt shock. Plants use these elements to build stronger cell walls, complex proteins, and natural defenses that synthetic fertilizers can't provide. The results show up in higher Brix readings, a sign the plant is producing complex sugars tied to true mineral balance. Insects avoid these plants because they can't digest that chemistry. Safety matters. Never use undiluted seawater, and in dry climates, monitor soil to prevent salt buildup. With normal rainfall, the 1:30 ratio is safe and repeatable. This isn't folklore or a gimmick. It's a practical method used by growers who want full-spectrum nutrition from the most abundant mineral source on Earth. 1 cup. 2 gallons. Once a season. That's how you bring the ocean back to your soil. Why this never made it to store shelves. A solution as simple as diluted ocean water never stood a chance in a world built on patents and profit margins. The ocean covers 70% of the planet, and its chemistry is public domain. No company can claim exclusive rights to a bucket of seawater. In the business of agriculture, this is a dead end. The fertilizer industry thrives on formulas that can be patented, branded, and sold by the ton. Synthetic NPK blends nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium fit this model perfectly. Each bag is a product, a brand, and a recurring purchase. But a mineral mix that anyone can collect for free from any coastline on Earth offers no such leverage. Industry leaders knew how to shape the narrative. For decades, advertisements and extension bulletins warned of the dangers of salt in soil. The phrase, salting the earth, became shorthand for destruction. What got lost in translation was the difference between sodium chloride table salt and the complex mineral balance of seawater. By blurring the line, the message was clear: salt is a killer, and anything from the ocean is suspect. This confusion wasn't accidental. Chemical companies invested heavily in research and marketing to reinforce the idea that only their products could safely feed crops. University programs, often funded by the same corporations, focused on refining NPK formulas and optimizing yields within that narrow framework. There was no incentive to explore a solution that couldn't be owned, controlled, or sold at scale. The result was a system that left the full spectrum of minerals locked in the ocean while the land grew hungrier with each passing season. The modern revival: sea solids you can buy today. Sea energy agriculture never faded entirely into obscurity. In the early 2000s, the idea found new life among those determined to prove Dr. Murray's method was not just a historical footnote. In 2003, Robert Kane, a former collaborator and advocate of Murray's work, launched C90, a commercial product made from unrefined sea solids harvested from the Baja Coast. The name points to the spectrum of minerals inside nearly 90 elements, just as Murray described. C90 is sold in garden shops and farm supply catalogs across the United States. Its instructions echo Murray's original formula: dilute, apply sparingly, and let the minerals do the rest. Ocean Solution, another modern company, now offers a liquid concentrate based on the same principles. These products are not fringe experiments. They are registered for use in certified organic farming, and their websites feature testimonials from growers who claim better yields and improved plant health. C90 and Ocean Solution have both been tested on pastures, row crops, and home gardens, with results reported in farm bulletins and organic certification guides. Some users report higher Brix readings, richer color, and resilience against drought and pests outcomes that echo the early field trials. These products serve as living evidence that Murray's approach remains viable even as mainstream agriculture continues to focus on synthetic blends. The presence of C90 on the market since 2003 and the ongoing availability of Ocean Solution showed that the method still attracts those searching for a broader answer to soil depletion. Science is not locked away in old books or forgotten labs. It is available, bottled and bagged, for anyone willing to try what the ocean has offered all along. The question we're not asking. As global soils lose nearly half their minerals every century, the debate over how we feed ourselves becomes urgent, not academic. Seawater is not just a relic. It is a blueprint hiding in plain sight, still unpatented and still abundant. The real question is, will we keep buying what is missing, or return what nature already gave? Sometimes the antidote is as close as a walk on the shore. Share your thoughts below.